Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. Our master tactics of today are going to be so amazing and very interesting. We have two super amazing guests. One of them is Loida Vasquez. We're going to talk to her about networking on the real estate industry, something that I must confess I'm not good at it at all. I don't know if I'm a little tired already of being on the network industry instead of the real estate industry because right now is the network industry on the real estate market, but it's something that we cannot stop doing, and we have to keep doing it in our industry. And our second guest is Mr. CEO of Habitat Group, the developer. He doesn't need a lot of introduction. Santiago has been on the market for many years. Actually, I have to confess this part too. I admire Santiago very much. We know each other for a very long time, and he has created an amazing company and very knowledgeable of the market. And we're going to pick his brain about economics and the trends with the real estate market. So, Loida, welcome. Let's do this part with Loida in Spanglish, as we usually do. Okay, welcome to the stage. Juli, is Loida coming to the stage with me? Yeah, thank you very
Here I
much.
am.
Hi, Loida. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you for being here. We have been following your social media platform and everything that you have built, and we are very impressed of everything you've been doing. So we want to pick your brain too. How do you do it? What do you recommend? How do you handle the networking and the network real estate market that is so immense and full of everything. So, my first question to you is: how important is building a network for real estate agents, and why?
Yes, I think building a network is very important because it can lead to a lot of opportunities for more transactions, clients, credibility. Also, if you do it correctly, so for example, I started on YouTube back in 2015. From there, people started to find me on Instagram. It's all been organic and it has led to, transactions happening that I didn't have to go after. People were reaching out to me directly. And sometimes when it comes to real estate, let's say we're working with the seller, by just having our network and putting up our transaction, whether it's through a video, you can reach so many more people that it can lead to you being able to help others and also be able to help your seller and possibly get property sold. So there's a lot of different aspects and opportunities when it comes to that.
Okay, so let's divide it because I always like to give my audience that how to and why
Yeah.
and hands-on examples on why are we doing this? Why do we have to network? Basically, we have to network because it's the only way that we can increase our database. Is that
Exactly.
the main reason why we have to go out and network?
Increasing your database, it's one of them. The other is because, especially in this industry, if people don't remember you, if you just kind of stop doing it, it's all about talking and connecting with others. So they might forget about you, or they might think that you're no longer in the business. I know for me and for others that I know, sometimes that has happened where they stop showing up, for example, online, and people think that they're not in real estate anymore. So, yes, building a database is extremely important so that you can get to a point in the future where you can just work all of the people that you have in your CRM, past clients, people that you meet, whether it's at the grocery store, walking your dog, you never know. I think it's very important for you to put yourself out there, and it might be uncomfortable. And you might say, oh, well, I'm shy, or I don't like talking to people. but maybe they're not looking to buy or sell now, but later on they might, or they might refer you someone, or there might be something completely unrelated that you might be able to connect with that you can help each other out as well.
Definitely. I totally agree with you. Networking is not only going and partying and
Mhm.
going to a bar or attending all of the real estate galas out there. Networking is, as you just said, walking your dog. You
Yeah.
are networking when you're walking your dog. You need that. You have to say hello to that person, and you have, in the most unfashionable way, you can get that person's name and phone number, and
Mhm.
that person can lead you to a tons of connections. I just remember one of the Tony Robbins business mastery seminars that I attended to long time ago. He said that the people that you close and make business with is the people that you are closest to. Nobody's gonna look for someone that they don't even know. They have never have any relationship or related in any way with anyone, that if they don't know them somehow, they're going to close a deal or offer a deal with.
Mhm.
So he used to say that at the beginning of his career, he didn't have enough money to travel on private jets, but he managed to have friends back then that had private jets, and he used to go in private jets with all of these people, so he just could be close
Mhm.
to them. And that's the way he started building relationships and building deals and closing deals with the relationships he was building with. So I remember that. You are absolutely right. Even walking our dog, we can start establishing a networking community. Okay, I have another question for you. What are the best strategies do you recommend for real estate agents to effectively build and expand professionally in a network community?
Yes, I would say start with, whatever you like to do, maybe even as a hobby or that you already are involved with. So, for example, for me, fitness and going to the gym is something that I do all the time. So now it's how can I leverage that and start building and making connections with people at the gym or the business owner. Sometimes we forget about, talking with the owners of businesses, of establishments that we go to all the time, because these are also business owners that might potentially be looking to buy, sell, or invest. And the more that they see you also supporting their business, now they know every single person that comes in and out of whatever their location is. So you could stand out and be the real estate agent that they think of whenever they hear someone say, "Oh, I've been thinking about selling my home. Do you know anyone?" "Oh yeah, Claudia can help you." So starting immediately with places that you go to and that you frequent a lot of times is a great way to start your network and building relationships that way. Aside from that, putting yourself out there, many times it's not real estate related events that we need to be going to. It's great to meet other agents, but for example, recently I went to an event that was about fashion and beauty. So a lot of the people that were there, they were not real estate agents, but they were business owners as well. So I was putting myself in a situation where I could meet so many other women in this case, and we were able to start conversations. They found out I was a real estate agent, and now I'm the agent that they know. And if they need anything in the future, I'll be the first one to stand up in their mind. So collecting and exchanging phone numbers, sending a text message, and then just always just kind of checking in to see if there's anything that you can help them with. But those would be like the very easy ones that you can get started with.
I just remember something that we did in our last Tuesday's marketing tactics, that you said about your gym, okay, and the beauty industry that you attended to invent. Um, we are real estate agents, and That's marketing. And what else you are? Okay, I'm a real estate agent and I love to go to the gym. That's the differentiator of the all real estate agents because every person is unique. So, okay, like Over is saying right there in our chat, he loves to play volleyball. So, he is a real estate agent and he loves to play volleyball, right? So his networking is coming from
Mhm,
his team of playing volleyball. The networking, the networking that you attended to on the beauty industry, as you said, wasn't about real estate agents. It was about beauty. So who else is gonna go to it?
mhm,
People that is in the beauty industry. So it's a great form of networking. Yeah, we are 1,000 of real estate agents on the Miami area, and I love to cook. Not all of them love to cook. Okay, I love to go to decoration classes because I love to do that. So I'm a real estate agent, and what else? What's the differentiator? So that's where you can go and start networking and finding your teams. Okay. And another question. Tell me how were you able to build the database that you have right now on your YouTube and your Instagram account? Okay. Because as you said, it's organic.
mhm.
And that's the most important thing right now in social media, growing organically. So give us real examples of how we can do it, what we can do in order to keep growing organically. I know consistency is the biggest part of it, but give us an example of something real.
Yes. So first, let's say you want to start creating content on YouTube. There's really three reasons why people would go on YouTube to watch a video. They want to either get educated on something, they need a question answered, or they're looking to get entertained. So in my exam, for me, in my case, what I started to do was I was creating videos that were educating and also answering specific questions that people had. So, for you that are watching this right now, first of all, who is your audience that you want to get to? Maybe they are first time home buyers, maybe they are people that are looking to sell their home, maybe it's other real estate agents that you want to teach. Whoever those people are, what are some of the questions that they're always asking? And once you know that, maybe you can create a list of 5 or 10, and then you can start thinking of video ideas. I love video, and that's why I started on YouTube because just like you said, Claudia, there's thousands of agents, but now if people can put a face to the name, oh, I know how that looks like. I feel like she's like my family member. I'll reach out to her versus just a phone call or a text message. So video helps you stand out. My YouTube presence, I built it because I started creating these videos and it was consistency. I was just putting out one video every single week. I was filming with my iPhone, so I didn't have expensive equipment, I didn't have lighting. I just made sure that when I filmed, I was standing in front of a window so that sun would come in. And as I was posting these videos, it was answering questions that people had. Um, there's been a few videos that I have done where I talk about the buyer and the seller process. And through that, actual homeowners and people interested in doing something real estate related have found me through Google, because YouTube is the second biggest search engine. So let's say someone goes to Google to type in their question. If you've done a video where you answer that question, your video might pop up. So that has happened to me a few times where people have found me that way. And then they email me or they send me a DM on Instagram telling me that they're interested in selling their property and if I could help them out. So all of that has been organic in growth because I have been very intentional with the type of videos that I put out. And especially right now with AI and ChatGPT, if
Oh,
you're
it's so
thinking,
easy. Now
yes,
it's
you
so
can,
easy.
you can
Now,
just
as,
go
as you
there.
can as you can hear, English is not my first language. It's like my 10. Okay. So artificial intelligence have definitely saved my life.
Mhm.
Now I write an email, or I have to write a pitch, a sales pitch, or for my EB5 project. Everything now I run it through artificial intelligence, which is amazing. Then I have to check the message and the intention, but it's so easy right now.
Mhm.
It's like my time has been cut in half.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
have, yeah, it's so easy right now. Artificial intelligence for social media platforms, for me, is working wonderful.
Mhm. Yes, because now you
So,
don't have to think
Loida,
about.
exactly. So if we have the idea and we have the correct 1, 2, 3 steps that we need to take in order to achieve the goal, artificial intelligence is going to help us get there very easily. So my last question to you, CRMs, because for me, platforms on social media is gonna give, or as you said, and totally agree with you, a face to the name. Okay, which is perfect. We can start growing our databases with all these different platforms and networking events. But then we need to have a CRM that is gonna help us keep, as I said, keep gripping the message to the mass.
Mhm.
Okay, so tell us about the CRMs that you use, and then I'll tell you which one I use.
Okay, yes. The CRM that I use is Chime, and you have to be very, intentional, and also I like to say have a strategy wherever it is that you are, say, putting your link or your phone number. So I like to have a very specific phone number that I use, especially when I'm posting, let's say, content online. That way I can track where my leads are coming from, whether it's social media, if it's out, me in person networking. I make sure to write down notes, especially if I'm meeting someone, in the marketplace or at an event, who they were, what they did, or anything specifically that will help me remember them. Maybe they were wearing like a bright red shirt, because it'll get to a point that you meet so many people and you're going to meet maybe like 10 James, and you're like, okay, which James is this one? I can't remember who it is. So doing that. I like to also make sure that if I have a specific email that I post somewhere, I can track it as well. So it's just knowing exactly where your leads are coming from. That way you can see, okay, I should focus more of my energy here because there's a lot more um, responses that I'm getting through YouTube or Instagram or Facebook or even a phone number. So with Chime, I can select a different phone number that I can use. So if someone calls in, I know that they called from a phone number that they saw on one of my YouTube videos. So that's kind of like how that works on my end.
Okay, Chime, good. All of them are pretty much the same,
Yeah.
and I think we're not inventing the wheel here. But just for everybody to know, I use KV Core for my real estate, and we use Active for my EB5 project. So Active Campaign is the name. So Loida, everyone, please follow Loida at Loida Velas. That's her Instagram handle. She's not with brokers, but no worries. Okay. I'm trying to convince her sooner or later. Okay. But, anyways, this is a great industry. We are open to success from everyone. I think we are a big, huge network industry. It doesn't matter if they belong to one broker or to the other. We have a lot of things to learn from each other. Thank you for being here. It was a
Yes.
pleasure meeting you. Um, Whatever you need, just let us know, and follow her. She's doing amazing on her real estate platforms and YouTube and Instagram and Facebook accounts. Okay. Now, thank you, Loida. It was a
Yes.
pleasure.
Yes. Thank you, Claudia. And just one last thing, I think at the end of the day, it's all about collaboration as well, because you're watching
Definitely.
me. You never know who you're going to work with. And it's always great to know other agents, because I don't know, there might be a time that I might reach out and be like, Claudia, I need help in this. Do you happen to know anyone? And we got to just help
That
each other out.
totally agree. I mean, we think this is a big industry, and at the end of the day, it's not as big.
Hmm.
We're gonna see each other closing deals, and that's the best part of it.
Yes,
Okay,
exactly.
thank you, Loida.
Thank you.
Ok, mi próximo invitado, don Santiago Vanegas. Juli, ponme a Santi en el stage, porfa. Hola, Santi. Good morning.
Hola Claudia, buenos días, ¿cómo estás?
¿Qué más? Bueno, Santiago no necesita mucha presentación, como les había dicho inicialmente. CEO, fundador de Habitat Group, lleva veintitantos años, no voy a decir tantos porque entonces nos sacan la edad a los dos, Santi, porque nos conocemos desde el puro beginning, desde el principio de los principios. Santiago sabe todo y más de lo que ha pasado y va a pasar, sobre todo en toda la zona de Miami, específicamente en Brickell. Santiago es economista, es colombiano y nos va a enseñar sobre lo que yo le dije a Santi, economía uno. Aprendamos sobre economía para que podamos hablarle a nuestros agentes a nuestros clientes con conocimiento, con tranquilidad. Vamos a empezar, Santi, si quieres hacer tu intro.
Hey Claudia, I don't know if for me as a challenge, let's try to make the presentation in English. So if I need
Great, let's do it.
any, any sentence that I need help, I say in Spanish. So let's try in
That's
English,
fine.
maybe.
Let's do it in Spanglish. Perfect.
Okay. So I'm going to share with you guys marketing report that we generate every quarter here in Habitat. Two chapters. One very easy, macroeconomic, and then the second chapter, microeconomic, which is most like the local market, pre-construction market, supply and demand. So I'm going to share. The information is approximately, of course, there is some draft numbers that we have. They are numbers, they change every day. So what we are trying to do is put it the last version. So I'm going to share, Claudia.
Dale.
So let me see
¿Cómo se, cómo?
if we share on the select. Let me see how entire screen. Okay, you see
No todavía.
now.
Fully, ya, Santi. Yeah, we can see it. Perfect.
This
Great.
info is
Super.
for February last month. So first, macroeconomics. The main thing here is talking about population, just to understand where we are right now. United States, 330 million people. Florida,
35.
22 million
Santi,
people.
almost 335 already. Wow, that's a lot of
Correct.
people. Okay.
That's from, and then Florida current population 22 million point six, and then Dade County 2.7 million, and then our location, especially our company location target is City of Miami, almost 450,000 people. The important number here, Claudia, is that City of Miami grow every 10 years 10%. So that magic number, 10% of this number. If we
Mhm.
calculate 10% of this number is 45,000 people every 10 years. That the demand, that the unit that we build, those 45,000 per 10 years. That's the
Okay,
demand in
so let
this.
me, let me, Santi, sorry, let me understand something. When you say the demand and when you say that we grow 10% every year, meaning every 10 years, I'm sorry, meaning that we have new people living in Miami, 45,000 people every 10 years. That if we translate that to the demand for housing, meaning that we should be building 50,000 new houses or housing every 10 years. Is that correct?
Correct, correct. That
Okay.
that are demand. that are
Okay.
demographic growth. And then we
Okay.
generate that supply in a mix of products, approximately 50% multifamilies, 50% condo market. So that's why every cycle in city of Miami goes approximately 20,000 units on pre-construction, and that's the supply that we generate, especially
Okay.
Brickell, downtown Edgewater.
I just have
And
a
then
question there, Santi, for my own knowledge. Did that change after the pandemic?
that's the I call that the wave. I mean, if we have
Okay.
more than 10%, and then we grow maybe 10,000 more people because the pandemic,
Okay.
that's it's gonna be the super boom. Is what I call the
Okay.
super
That's a
boom,
wave.
because
It's not the normal thing. It's just a wave.
it's just a wave.
Okay.
So our number is, let's try just 45,000, but if we have
Uh-huh.
10,000 more, because post pandemic is gonna be fantastic, because our demand are gonna move from 45,000 to
55.
55,000. So
Got
that's
it.
gonna be
Understood.
a good surprise.
Super. Okay.
So this is an important number here, because Florida, the GDP on Florida is $1.4 trillion. It's the 14th largest economy in the world. So that's
Okay. Can
an
you
amazing.
explain to us what GDP means, please?
GDP is the size of the economy. Gross
Okay.
domestic product. That is the size of the economy. In Spanish, we said Producto Interno Bruto. That's the size
Okay.
of the economy, which is this all the production, sales, the all companies together in a
Okay.
territory. So that's important because we are 14 economy in the world. I mean, we are big in Florida. We are biggest than a lot of countries, correct? And the important number
Okay.
here, Claudia, too, talking about in numbers, is that the Florida as a stage, as a big company, we had $22 billion surplus profit. So it's difficult that government entity generate profit. And then Florida generate $22 billion in profit. What that mean? That they have money to grow in security, infrastructure, new bridges, and a lot of security. So they reinvest that money. If you
We
compare
see
with
it.
all,
We see it every day, Santi. We see it every day in Miami, in Florida. We see that we're building. We see that we have new bridges. We see that we have better I-95. That's what you mean, right? All the improvements in the infrastructure. Okay. The schools are better. Um, the corridors where people are, because when I go to Miami, because I live in Broward County, when I go to Miami, I see that they're expanding and expanding and expanding in order to accommodate in a better way the people that is moving to it, right?
correct.
Okay, perfect.
So,
I
and
understand
then
now. So we have
this
money.
graph,
That
yeah,
only means that in Florida we have money, right?
yeah, correct. In
Okay.
comparison with another state that they have deficit in the budget, so they don't have extra money to make investment in infrastructure or security. Okay, let's go to this graphic that looks a little bit complicated, but it's very easy to understand. These are the
It looks
four,
very complicated for us, Santi. Okay.
yeah,
Go for it.
yeah. So is to make it easy, there are four items. In red, inflation; blue, interest rate from the Federal Reserve, we call Fed interest; gray, unemployment; and yellow, GDP, which is the economy. As you see,
Okay.
after pandemic, what happened in 2022, at the beginning of the chart, you see the red point on the top, 9.1% inflation. So that is the
Huge.
huge inflation, almost a record historic record in the United States. So at that time, our blue line, which is the interest reserve rate, was 0.25%. What the Federal Reserve did to control that high inflation is they start to increase the interest rate. So the blue from 0.25% very fast. All the 2023 is the maximum interest rate amount. And then you see that we start to control the inflation. The inflation start going down from 9% to 5%. And then, and the unemployment, which is the gray, always stay good between 3.5, 3.6%. So that's good news. We have a very good unemployment rate. A good unemployment rate is below 4%. So we call it perfect unemployment. So that
Okay, so
number,
let
it's
me.
good always. And the
Okay,
GDP,
Santi,
which is the economy.
let me understand something so our viewers can understand. So the red line, that is the inflation, that was the highest in the United States after the pandemic. Okay. And the blue line, that is the interest rate. So what the government was trying to do was trying to cross the lines between the red line and the blue line so they can bring down the inflation, putting up the interest rates, so the people were spending less, because the only way to bring down inflation is when the people start spending less money because interest rates are high. Am I correct? And when the government crossed that over, the inflation start coming down, correct? Uh-oh, what happened with Santi, Juli? Got disconnected. Okay, let's wait a second, but okay, Santi's coming back. Santi? Okay. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Santi is connected and my dog wants raised. Okay, so what I was getting at from Santiago's presentation is that the economy after pandemic was so high that the government has to um, hiking the interest rates. So the um, inflation started coming down. That's what I understood he was trying to explain. I don't know if until we can get Santi's back on the screen. Okay, hey Santi, you're back.
Good, good.
I was trying to explain what you were saying. Okay, Santi, you can share your screen again. But what I was trying to understand is government was putting the interest rates high so they could lower the inflation, correct? Because people were going to spend less money. Am I correct on that part?
Yes, they try to reduce our consume.
Okay.
If,
So
if
we wouldn't spend money because the interest rate were high.
correct, if they reduce our consume, so the inflation goes down, and is what happened. So if you see the big picture here, is that you see a very complicated situation in 2022 and 2023, as you see very disorganized macroeconomics. So what we have right now in 2024, and hopefully the projection of 2024, is like economy, like in a stabilization process. You see inflation, for example, in January, We came with a 3.1% in January. It's a good number. We have we have a very high GDP in quarter four, I'm sorry, 3.2% in quarter four, and a huge GDP in quarter three, 4.9%. But I see the economy going a little bit in deceleration, the economy.
That's 2024, right?
That's 2024. I see first
Okay.
quarter that we will grow approximately 1.5%, and then second quarter less than 1%. Why? Because the cost of having this high interest rate during 6 months, 8 months is gonna cost for companies. So our costs are gonna come like 6 months later. So I see less growth in companies, meaning that the economy is gonna have a little problem here. Hopefully, no recession. That's what they call soft landing, that little going down without recession. And then with hopefully an inflation under control, the target of Federal Reserve is 2%. So if we have 2.9% in February, it's going to be good. And then we will be ready to start to start reducing Federal Reserve interest rate. I see
Okay.
approximately at the end of the day, at the end of the year, around 4% interest rate. Maybe they are going to reduce from 5.5% to 4%. That's how I see the interest rate.
Okay.
They did.
What I just have a question. Okay. Now that we understand where we are right now, what that means for the real estate industry, Santi?
What happened with the real estate industry is that everybody start because we interest real estate has two type of returns: operating returns and valuation returns or appreciation returns. So today the operating returns on real estate are very low, almost negative, because the cost of financing is too high. Mortgage rate today approximately 7%. So the numbers in a property with a loan to value of 50% loan to value, 60% loan to value, the returns today on operating returns, because the interest rate are higher. So that complicate our buying velocity. If interest rate go a little bit down, our returns in operatings go fast. So we move more aggressive in the buying process. And then if we move fast in the buying process, what happens is that accelerate the demand. And with acceleration of the demand, as any product, the price go up again. So that is how I see the real estate market. I see acceleration in Q3 and Q4 definitely are going to be more velocity on the market. All the markets in real estate in the United States today, I see like a reduction of price a little bit. Florida and Miami stay alive with positive, but we stop the appreciation because a lot of time with high interest rate. What is good in Florida and in Miami, especially, is that our supply is very low. I will show you right now the supply. The supply amount reduced from 15% inventory to 4% inventory in the majority of the product on real estate, houses, pre-construction.
What days were that, Santi? The 15 to 4%. When did that happen?
That happened between 2022 and 2022. In
Okay.
2022, we moved from
15.
15%, 15% inventory supply of everything. We moved to we touched 3.5%, and then we moved today approximately to 4.5%, which is
So
amazing.
our
Very low.
inventory right now is 4.5%, and we were in 2022 in so remember guys that we are real estate agents that um a year ago we didn't have any inventory to sell. That's when we touched the 3.5% inventory when we didn't have anything to sell. Now we have more inventory, remember? Now we have like more things to sell because we right now are in the 4.5% inventory, but we were coming from 15%. We are not even close from 15 to 4.5, and we were in 3.5. Yeah, we're in a better position now because we have more things to sell, but we are still far from the 15% that we used to have 18 to 24 months ago. Okay. Thank you, Santi. Continue, please.
Correct. So as you see, we will have more stabilized items in the macroeconomics this year, not this past 2 years. Hopefully, this continue like that. This is like a summarize of this GDP, which is the economy, going a little bit low in 2024 and then go to again to 2%. Unemployment is going up because at the end of the day, we are going to pay the cost of having a high interest rate for the past almost 10 months. Inflation is under control. As you see, we expect to see at 2.2 at the end of the year and then hopefully continue in stabilization, and the Federal Reserve rate going down and continue going down. What happened as well this year? This year in November we will have election. Politicians always affect our economy. The majority today looks like Republicans are getting the election because they have the majority today in the in the
Yeah.
in the situation right now. So it looks like Mr. Trump is going to be the president this year. I think the Republicans go a little bit aggressive with terms, laws about the banking, real estate. It's like they promote that. Moving to earning, our situation is that we have approximately in city of Miami median earning 60,000, and then which is good news is that our unemployment rate is very low in compared to USA, even Florida. So city of Miami, the unemployment rate is amazing, unbelievable, 1.6%, meaning that
That's super
everybody
good.
has a job in city of Miami. Dynamic of the market, I see what is happening right now with the pricing. This graphic looks complicated, but let me explain you. This is the price per square foot, talking about used product in condo.
Super
And then,
important.
and then the blue rate is the price per square foot in new condo. Why is the difference between the white line and the blue? That the 95% of the volume of the transaction, 95% of the inventory in city of Miami is used. That's why
Resale.
you have a lot of volume of the market in white, which is the use of product, and then just 5% of the market is new condo. That's why very limited supply in a market with very limited supply, you go over $1,000 per square foot. So that's to understand that graphic.
Okay.
And then this is amazing, this graphic for developers or to create product or for investors. This graphic show the volume of demand and the volume of supply on each different ticket price on city of Miami, talking about condos. So you see that we have more demand between $400,000 and $700,000 than supply. So always is
Okay.
going to be more
Okay.
interesting.
Let
Uh-huh.
me let me understand this 1 second. The blue line is what the clients are asking for. And the
Correct.
orange line is that what the market has available in housing.
In
So
condo.
if
In condo.
in condo, okay, perfect. No single family homes. I'm pretty sure the graphic for single family homes will be totally different, but this is condo, perfect. So as we can see, people is asking buyer. This is very important for us agents. Clients or prospects are looking for more inventory around the 500 to $600,000 than what we have. And the same thing happens, and even bigger, from people that is looking for inventory between $250,000 and $300,000 than the inventory we have. Am I correct, Santi?
Yes, correct. So if you
Okay.
go to a luxury, let's see, of a more than $1 million ticket price, so you see the other way around. We have more supply units than the demand that the people are interested to buy uh, condos more than $1 million. It's a good graphic. Hello?
See, yeah, we're listening.
Okay, good. So to understand the cycle of condo in city of Miami, talking about supply, we have information about the three last cycle. Cycle one, we call cycle one, which is average year 2006. That's that cycle. I call cycle number one. We delivered approximately 20,000 units, 20,000
Okay.
condos, 10,000 in Brickell, 10,000 approximately in downtown. And then
Okay.
in this cycle, remember that was the subprime
The
crisis.
exactly the
Correct.
banking crisis.
Correct. We believe that time that never that supply never is gonna finish, and this supply like in 3 more years again we went out of supply and we generate a new cycle. The
Okay.
second cycle, the average year of second cycle is between 2014. We delivered approximately 10,000 units, and then approximately 55% Brickell and 45% downtown. Was the
Okay.
half number of units of the first cycle. That cycle
Okay.
ends with in 2020 and 2019 with the last project, and then no supply in 2020, no supply in 2021, no supply in 2022. We stopped the
And that
supply.
was when the pandemic hit it. Uh-huh.
Correct. And then we are in current cycle. The current cycle average year is going to be 2025, 2026, because all the projects are more we are late in the schedule. Today
Uh-huh.
we are in between 9,000 units and 11,000 units, because 9,000 in September, but today in February we have 11,000. Those 11,000 units are sold out already. Approximately 80% we are sold out in those units.
Yeah, and remember, guys, this correlates with what Santi explained to us at the beginning of the presentation about the 10,000 units based on that Florida is growing 10,000 people every 10 years. Okay,
No,
this is the correlation with that info.
let me explain that because it's a little bit different. It's
Okay.
not Florida. It's not Florida. It's city of Miami.
Oh, I'm sorry,
So
City of Miami.
good,
Okay.
yeah, good point to bring that comment here, Claudia. Thank you. Now let's go. Let's analyze that. If we have 450,000 people in city of Miami, correct? Almost half a
Uh-huh.
million people. Every 10 years, we grow 10%, meaning 45,000 people every 10 years. So what you see here is that every cycle we deliver the number of units that we grow. But condo market, which is this cycle, condo market is approximately 50% of the supply generation, because the other 20,000 units comes, Claudia, in multifamily products.
Oh, okay.
So the
Okay, okay.
equilibrium,
Got it.
the equilibrium is we deliver 20,000 units in multifamilies, and we deliver 20,000 units in condo. If
Condo.
you add
Okay, got it.
20,000 units in multifamily plus 20,000 units in condo product, you get 40,000 units, which is the
Okay,
growth of the demographic in City of Miami, 10% every decade. Okay, so
great,
we
great.
are getting the
Understood.
equilibrium. What I see is that we are this cycle. I see this cycle very close to the cycle one. I think in the next year, in this year, we are going to see approximately 4,000 more units coming on Grand Downtown of Miami. Is what I predict.
That means that we're gonna have more inventory by the end of 2026 and 2026, something like that?
I would
Or
say
what do you think?
2024, I would say 5,000 units. It's going to be very fast because
Okay,
these 9,000 units are already sold out 80%. So you see this month, we get Mercedes. We are going to get more additional units coming on the market. Some multifamily condos conversion too on the market to generate the supply that we need because we don't have supply already. So I see that in 2024, Claudia, this year, and maybe the beginning of next year, new supply approximately 5,000 units.
okay. That's good for us, guys, because
Yeah,
everybody's
and
saying that we didn't have any inventory to sell. Now we have inventory to sell.
we will have correct. Now
Yeah.
this is how I see the delivery. Today we have 11,000. You see, we moved
Okay.
from 9,000, 9.2 thousand. Today we have between Brickell and downtown 11,000. So already start putting new projects. So you see how the cycle ends, the previous cycle ends in 2019. That's what the cycle ends, and then nobody delivery in 20, nobody delivery in 21. The only project that delivered in 2022 was a multifamily that wasn't a condo that make a condo conversion, was the
Okay.
Elser. The Elser
Yeah.
take the opportunity, move very smart, very fast, and then convert that multifamily to condo, very success
And then,
because we
yeah,
don't have
they gave us inventory because we didn't have anything to sell.
correct. And then we as Smart Brickle came along in 2023 with just 100 unit, amazing valuation. Always the valuation increase at the beginning of the cycle, at the end of the cycle, because low amount of supply at the beginning of the cycle and low amount of supply at the end of the cycle. And the middle of the cycle, you get a little bit more supply, and then you get some price stabilization and the middle of the cycle. So you see right now more moving on construction finally, and I see that we are going to deliver approximately 1.4 thousand units in 2024, and then continue with the delivery. But this graphic is a little bit aggressive. This graphic at the end of the day is going to move more to the future. It's going to be more to the 2029, 2030, and this is the actual cycle. Blue is Brickell area, low supply, and green is downtown area. The majority of the units come from downtown. the key players in Brickell area on the construction right now. We have a very new good news is that or very interesting information is that we are just approximately 15 developers on the market right now, which is very few developers, between
In the
15
Brickell
for
area. Uh-huh.
Brickell area and downtown.
Okay.
Brickell area and downtown. We have the sensation that there is 30 developers, like, but not. We are the market right now is the market share right now is the distribution is between 13, 14 developers in Brickell and downtown. Very small number of developers in my thinking. So on Brickell, we have 1,600 approximately units on the construction, and then 2,000 units approximately in pre-construction, trying to sell, trying to get construction loan, and trying to start construction. This is the number of units that we have on Brico. I will share this info to you and to your agent,
Yeah,
Claudia.
we're gonna share it to our agents. Thank you, thank you very much,
Mm.
Santi. Yeah,
This
that's
is
very amazing.
downtown on the construction, and then downtown on pre-construction, same list. And this is Brickell and downtown on the construction, 7,000 units on the construction. All of them sold out 80% approximately. And then in pre-construction to start construction, approximately 3,000 units. The key players today, you see related, you see Swire, like the historic developers are taking the market. Um, PMG, Fortune, Newgard,
Newgard?
Oka, and Mass
Yeah.
Capital. See?
Okay.
And then that's the info that I have to you. I see very good news about the macroeconomics. I see
Okay.
I think that you need to talk with your clients, because this Q1, quarter one, and quarter two are buyers market moment. So if you have a customer, it's the time to tell them, take the opportunity, because Q1 and Q2 is a buyer's market. If interest reserve make a reduction in Q3, Q4, the market is going to be again a seller's market. So
Exactly.
I see prices going up a little bit, and then the equilibrium is going to be good, because then we are going to generate more supply. So still alive. There is a lot of potentiality on Miami, thinking in long term. And any question, welcome.
Santi, thank you very much. As I said, everyone, Santi knows left and right economics and everything related to Miami, downtown, and his special area, that is Brickell. Um, my last question to you, Santi. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Uh, I would like to sing very good.
Okay, perfect. Now we know what Santi's superpower could be. Everyone, thank you very much. 16 minutes on the dot. I appreciate it. Santi, thank you. See you all next Tuesday in our Master Tactics. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.